my bullet points in about 5 pages because after 37 years, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff to go over here. So, hello, Gallo family, Montes family, Chief Rojas, esteemed colleagues, friends. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate Mrs. Vivian Gallo's illustrious 37 years here at the Santa Ana Police Department. That's not how we're going to go out, Viv. Get the chairs, guys. Okay, Viv, we need you to get up and come on over here. Who are we kidding? This is Viv's retirement that we're talking about. You're not going to get off this easy. It's going to be a good old-fashioned roast. You're going to actually sit down there next to the guys. They're going to get your other name. Special chair. Oh, okay. Special chair. So, several years ago, Tino, you might remember this. This was at the POA when they were having a barbecue there at the parking lot. Not too long after you retired, Tino, I was at the POA hanging out there, and I see Tino driving up with her. And I said to myself, wow, an oldie but a goodie. A little loud, has some body work done, but not a lot. I couldn't help but not stare and admire. And I gave Tino props, and he says, yeah, it's a 64 Pontiac. She's Viv's car. I got to get the mufflers fixed on her, but she's a good car. So this is Viv's retirement, and after 37 years of service, can you imagine doing 30 years and then tacking on another 7? That's all. It's just mind-boggling. But Viv's done it with a good attitude. 37 is a big number. It's huge in any industry, let alone in law enforcement, where the average career lasts, what, 20 to 25 years. So, and that's before somebody starts running on borrowed time. And for an example, Dan, if you could stand up and show us what 25 years looks like. And where's Art? Art, can you stand up? Can you face everybody? Art was still along 3 years away from being an embryo when Viv started her career here. It's just mind-boggling. But seriously, those guys are good sports. I wouldn't trade you guys for anybody. Paul, you're another story. Totally different story. Paul's out of here this week. But in your case, Viv, the number 37 doesn't only describe the years on the job. It's also the number of hairstyles that you've had over the years. And here's a number, here's some of them that we see here. I can't go back to the early years because I was only in the 3rd grade when you started that. So that was back in '77. Viv's been with District Investigations helping the Robbery Auto Theft Unit. Viv and her sidekicks, Alvia Prudencio and Jeff Krutzinger, are assigned to do the ever-important crime analysis work. Through their unit that bears the same name, it's the crime analysis unit that they work here at the PD. They read through all the robbery and assault reports, keep tabs on the crime trends, do link analysis. They coordinate with other agency analysts. They create hotspot maps for detectives and provide data for commanders who use the information in their meetings. They update the city's website. They manage the wanted bulletins. And the list goes on and on. Yeah, Viv, this is what your job description says that you do. She's a busy bee, right? She does all of this in between her coffee breaks with the guys. And I know Commander Franks, she's seen you, right? She's seen you with us. A few times. In between talking to the comadres at their desks, accompanying Jeff on his smoking breaks, or in your case, a vapor breaks on occasion. and going to your lunch breaks. But we all know that you're asleep in your car in the parking lot. And of course, catching up on Facebook with her sister Cha-Cha. In the robbery unit, we're oftentimes swamped with reports of the same crooks preying on victims during particular hours of the night, other suspects capering in neighborhoods, in neighboring cities, some in particular vehicles, or we're chasing cell phones and linking those locations to the crooks that we're searching for, and all with the crime analysts supporting us while we're in the field. We're always calling them back. They're always giving us updated information and checking up on stuff for us. It takes an analyst like Viv to sift through all these reports and to communicate with other agencies and to paint a picture on a spreadsheet that makes us have an educated guess as to when they're going to strike next. Just like an assembly line, our crime analyst Viv takes all this information and sifts through it, processing it so that it makes it manageable for us. That's what you do, Viv. Okay? I've had the pleasure of co-supervising Viv for the last 4 years with Dave Angel. And since 2010, I gotta say, from day one, working with you, Viv, has been like living through live episodes of the I Love Lucy show. Here's a clip of what Viv looks like with Alvia working on the assembly line. Alvia reminded me about another one of the crime analysis unit's responsibilities. That's keeping our vehicles clean. On a bright sunny day this past summer, Viv drove Alvia to the city yard to get their vehicle washed. It's a Mitsubishi that they drive. Then they got stuck in there. As Viv describes it, the muffler was nearly ripped off from underneath the car. The transmission scraped on the rail on the bottom, and the side view mirror scraped along the side as the black chingaderas kept hitting the car. Leave it to Viv to get herself stuck in the car wash. All I could think of when I heard that story was this. This past November, we attended the Sean Diamond funeral at the Citizens Bank Center in Ontario. Now, normally, we would travel as a unit. We would probably jump in a van, go down there. All of us would climb in a unit or take a couple of cars to get there. However, for this funeral, we were organized and encouraged to travel in marked black and white vehicles in full Class A uniforms, as it should be. There must have been about 15 or 20 black and whites there. And as you can imagine, all the way over there, traffic was horrendous. Worse yet, it was nasty, it was horrific, it was ghastly. I wish I had McLeod. Is McLeod here for one of his $5 words? Alvia and Viv were going to show their respect and go on their own in one of the detective vehicles. So there we were, crawling on the freeway, halfway there, locked in full procession, stop and go traffic in the slow lane, when my phone rings, and it's Viv. And here we go. Hey, we made it to Ontario, but we stopped at the Target down the street. It's about half a mile away from the center. And the car won't start. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And Lucy as Ricky would say, pero qué clase de mujer va a ir al Target en un funeral pagar el carro? I guess I'll send you a helicopter is all I could think of.
A helicopter?
Now come on, we're almost over the ship. Now out you go. 1, 2, 3. All right? You all set? Yeah. Okay, here we go. The only reason why I didn't suggest a helicopter, sending a helicopter over to pick up Viv is because you probably would have taken me up on it too. One of the things we love about you, Viv, is that you're not just stepping in it, you're always stepping over it. And not just quietly, you're very deliberate about the things that you do. You do it with gusto, and you do it with style and enthusiasm, and for the whole world to see. And for those of you that don't believe me, remember this one? Front page of the Orange County Register. The only thing that's missing from that is if the Mitsubishi would have been parked right there. Although you're moving on from this place, Viv, we know that you're not going too far because you're well aware that unlike in Santa Ana, other agencies, outside agencies will probably book you for any of your shenanigans. But we wish you all the luck in whatever you set out to do, and know that you're leaving behind a legacy of laughter in a style that only you could pull off. I, for one, thank you, and I know I speak for everybody else in this room, especially my unit, that I thank you for making me want to come into work every day. Thanks. We love you, Viv!